So I want to talk about these tariffs again real quick here. Specifically, Trump's decision to pause the tariffs. And the question I pose here is, was that the plan from the beginning, or was it not? Now, it's easy enough to explain it if this was not the plan. You can simply chalk this up to stupidity, because Donald Trump is, after all, an idiot. And so it's very easy to believe that he did this because he thought it was smart to do so. It blew up in his face. He was catching holy hell. Republicans on the Hill were probably calling him nonstop, begging him to stop. The stock market's crashing, the bond market's crashing. It just blew up in his face. And so he reversed himself and put it on pause. Now, this follows a long history of Donald Trump doing exactly this sort of thing. He does something really stupid that he thought was brilliant. It blows up in his face. He walks it back and claims victory. All right, so this not having been planned is easy enough to believe. But what if this was the plan? Well, if it was the plan, then this was Donald Trump's genius plan, I guess, to get people to talk to him. Because in this tweet that he issued, let me see if I have it here. He says, or not a tweet, whatever they call those bleats on Truth Social. He said, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, blah, 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 I'm suspending, or I'm pausing the tariffs. So was imposing these massive tariffs on virtually the whole world, except, of course, Vladimir Putin, crashing the stock market, sending Republicans into panic, destroying the economy, all of this stuff, was that just so he can get some phone calls? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. If he wanted to renegotiate deals with these different countries, all he had to do was have someone pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, country, I want us to come to a deal, come to some trade deal terms, or I'm gonna impose tariffs on your country. So let's strike a deal. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to plunge the world into chaos and wipe out trillions of dollars, in value in the stock market. Now, that doesn't make any sense. If this was the plan, I think it's much more likely that the plan was to line his pockets, to crash the market, buy up stocks on the cheap, then announce that you are pausing the tariffs, the stock market rebounds, and you cash out. Now, if that is in fact the case, that is obviously a crime. Donald Trump would not have immunity for that crime. Now, imposing tariffs is within the scope of his duties as president. That is protected. However, buying and selling stocks, or having people do it on your behalf, or setting up shell corporations to do that, or being in cahoots with your buddies to do it on your behalf, all of that, none of that is part of your job as president. And so, that would be insider trading. And that is a serious financial crime. That would not be protected. You'd have no immunity for that. So, which is it, Trump cultists? Was Donald Trump simply incompetent, as we know he is, but is that what this was because of, his incompetence and his sheer stupidity? Or was this the plan? And if it was the plan, then make anything other than a criminal conspiracy make sense here, because nothing really does. You don't crash the markets and wipe out trillions of dollars of value in order to start conversations with other countries. That doesn't make any sense. The only thing that actually does make sense, if this was the plan, is a criminal conspiracy. Donald Trump deserves to be in prison, and one day he will be out of office, and this is one of the many things that should be investigated. And if he committed any crime here, he should be prosecuted. There will be no immunity for this crime, if that is in fact what occurred here. And if that is what occurred here, this would probably be the biggest financial crime in world history. So we need to get to the bottom of this.